And the judge for the utility group is going to come into the ring in just a moment. We're all set for really the most important part of the day here at Crufts, where we have the two groups being judged. Today is utility and toy dogs, so we have the wonderful collection of dogs coming in, which are, of course, of such a mixed variety, because the utility group is exactly that. They don't fit into the sporting group, they don't fit into other places, the working group necessarily. So it's very interesting, the utility group. You never know quite what you're going to see as a winner. But it's a splendid group and we're looking forward to it. I think the ring announcers are now just about to introduce our judge. And we're delighted to see him going into the ring. There you go, Frank. Best in Show judge last year, utility group judge today. He's a proud man. He will love every minute of this. What is there to say about Frank that's not been said before? Approved to award CCs in over 100 breeds, judged all groups at championship level, a member of the Kennel Club General Committee and chairman of the Breed Standards Committee, and a lovely bloke to boot.
So please give a warm welcome and express your congratulations to the winner of our import racing classes, the Eurasia.
So the Eurasia dog comes in. This is not part of this competition, but it's the winner of the Any Variety Imported register. They just come to do a lap of honour. And we have the Eurasia here, which is Lewiston Legally Blonde, 2-year-old bitch.
Breeds in development in the UK at the moment, and the Eurasia, a strong contender, a really nice balanced looking dog there.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the ring, the utility group best of breeds, led in by the Akita.
So here's the Akita.
Next into the ring, the Boston Terrier.
Followed by the very distinctive Bulldog.
Now the Cannon Dog.
The Canaan Dog.
Which is how we prefer to pronounce it.
The Chow Chow.
And the Chow Chow, again, very distinctive. This utility group has some wonderful breeds in it.
One of the most popular of the utility dogs, the Dalmatian.
And one of Jessica's favourites, the French Bulldog.
The German Spitz Klein.
The smallest of the German Spitz, the Klein.
Now the German Spitz Mittel.
And the next stage up, the Mittel, German Spitz Mittel.
The Japanese Akita Inu.
This one, the Japanese Akita Inu.
The Japanese Shiba Inu.
And another Japanese breed, the smaller version, the Shiba Inu.
The Japanese Spitz.
The distinctive white coat of the Japanese Spitz.
The Kazon.
Not barking loud today, but the Kazon can be very vocal.
The breed that took best in show at last year's Crufts, the Lhasa Apso.
Another of Jessica's favourites, the miniature Schnauzer. What a little beauty.
And the first of our poodles, the miniature poodle. This one, 3 sizes, of course.
And this is the largest size, the standard poodle. Spectacular as always.
And the little toy poodle. My daughter will be jumping up and down on the sofa at home to see this one.
And the Schipperke.
The Schnauzer.
The Sarpei.
Pay attention now. The Shih Tzu, who's decided to rather stay in the collecting ring this evening.
And the Tibetan Spaniel. Cute.
And the last of our utility dogs for tonight, the Tibetan Terrier.
Well, Frank's got a task on his hands today. Some very, very lovely dogs coming into there. As I said, the utility breed group, the group consists of miscellaneous breeds of dog, mainly of non-sporting origin. They include, as you've seen, the Bulldog, the Dalmatian, the Akita and Poodle. And the name utility essentially means fitness for a purpose, which is a very, very useful phrase, I think, to have.
Some would say it's the group of dogs that contains all the dogs that they couldn't think of anywhere else to put them.
Well, you can
They
see
don't
some
fit
of them,
into any of the other groups.
you could see some of them going into the working group quite easily, couldn't you? But there we go. It is the utility group, and it's a wonderful group. And Frank will take this opportunity, with all of them in line, to take a walk along and get a view of what he's got to
Beautiful shot of the
choose
Dalmatian there. My favourite breed there, the French Bulldog.
between. Showing its back end delightfully.
I think it's just keeping a careful eye on the Akita going behind.
The athletic Dalmatian. Variety is very definitely the spice of life in the
The
youth.
Akita Inu and the little Shiba Inu.
They are wonderful, aren't they? I love the markings they tend to have. They're really beautiful. Another Japanese dog there.
Working the barges of Holland.
And the K's Hond at the back there. I said they go in not barking today, but they are vocal dogs. And as you said, the last year's best in show, that's not it, of course, but was the best in show last year, the breed.
And this is the opportunity as Frank walks down the line, we're following with the camera, to just take a look at the outlines of all these dogs. How well do they fit the breed standard? What quality of best of breeds has he got in the ring? And of course at Crufts you're expecting the very best.
And it's an interesting thing, isn't it? There's such a variety of shapes and sizes. How do you judge? Well, you judge the dog against its standard, not against the others that are present in there. So we're going to start at the first dog that Frank will take a look at here is the Akita. This is Maddie, a 2-year-old bitch, owned by Faye and Carol Beavis, daughter and mother. They come from Birkenhead in Wirral. Handler in the ring is Faye Beavis.
From Japan, of course, one of the most popular native dogs there. Really substantial animal, the Akita. Bred originally for guard and fighting, but they also were a hunting dog, capable of hunting bear, boar and deer.
The tallest breed of the group. The Akita is a large Spitz-type breed.
Now this is a really characteristic Spitz, this full or double curl tail, that blunt wedge of a triangle head, prick ears, triangle in shape as well. Free elastic action on the move. Colour, a really important thing in Akitas, this beautiful coat which can come often in very bright colours with a black mask.
And its conformation, you can see its strength, can't you?
7804. The first of the dogs to be examined on the table is the Boston Terrier.
On the table, the Boston Terrier. This is Elvis. He's a 2-year-old dog owned by Karina Frinch and Sarah Kennedy. Come from Germany, and it's Karina who's actually handling in the ring. The breeder is Sarah Kennedy, the partner in owning this dog.
Lovely shot of the head there. Square, flat-topped skull, short foreface, indicating the bulldog ancestry, of course.
Nice muscular dog, isn't it? Just standing there. Again, the conformation shows its strength.
On the move, we're looking for a smooth-coated, compact dog. This dark brindle and white, very characteristic. Deep-bodied with a good width of chest coming towards us. Nice and short-backed, never heavy though. Retains a certain dapper elegance to it, this breed.
Nice short coat as well, which doesn't make it too difficult to maintain.
Lovely shot of the easy, graceful gait there too.
Boston Terrier, number 7944.
The next dog for Frank to go over is the Bulldog. Today there was an entry of 208 dogs. The judge was Mrs. Judith Dawes. Her choice for best of breed was this bitch.
Well, you can't mistake that, can you? This is the Bulldog. This is Lacey. This is a 19-month-old bitch. Jackie and Sarah Lamont, mother and daughter again from Brighton and East Sussex, own this one. Sarah Lamont is actually handling there in the ring. 5 cc's to date.
Fantastic shot of the head there. It should be large, broad, but not over-exaggerated, deep with a short foreface. And look at those jaws, massive jaws, indicating the heritage. Because this dog was designed to grab hold of a bull and hang on regardless.
Much reproduced on collectible memorabilia throughout the years.
It's a very pugilistic face, isn't it?
Expression of this delightfully serious-looking dog belies his loving and affectionate nature.
One of our oldest indigenous breeds, this, first classified back in the 1630s, and of course used for bull baiting. Powerful body, broad-shouldered, tapering to a narrowing loin. The top line is supposed to rise like that towards the tail, but beautifully free-moving.
The best of breed winning bulldog, 8-1-3-2. The next dog for Frank to examine is the Kennel Club, sometimes called the Kennel dog in this country.
Well, this is the Canaan dog, or the Canaan dog as it's sometimes called. Chaim is the dog's name. This is a 6-year-old dog owned by Mrs. Ellen Minto. Comes from Irby in the Marsh in Lincolnshire, and handled in the ring here, Richard Minto handling this very interesting breed.
And this one was imported from the United States, a champion in America. Of course, they don't have CCs in this country yet. The national dog of Israel. Originally he was a guard, medium-sized, well-balanced, can be a little aloof with strangers, so the slightly, using his ears there, indicating he's just slightly unsettled in the ring. That's quite characteristic of the breed. The wedge-shaped head, nice level back on the move. Square, a deep-chested body, strong dog.
And those dogs at the upper end of the medium-sized dogs.
And the next dog to be gone over by Frank Kane today is the Chow Chow. There were 86 dogs today for Judge Mrs. Tam Butler.
The spectacular Chow Chow. Nin is this bitch's name, and the owner is from Denmark. Name is Metty, and Metty's actually handling in the ring. The breeder was Marianne and Bryn Hamish. This is an international champion. Numerous ones, won't go through them all, there's an awful lot.
And even if you didn't have that list of titles in front of you, looking at this dog, you could see that it's going to be a champion, a really beautiful quality animal.
The Chow Chow finds its origins in the monasteries of China and was very much prized by the incumbent monks.
The tail gives it away, of course. The Chow Chow, a Spitz type, developed originally in China, compact, well balanced. That slight roll to the gait as we see it move, very characteristic.
Ladies and gentlemen, the best of breeding Chow, number 8.
I'm told that they only take 5 minutes a day to keep looking like that. I don't believe it.
Next, we see the Dalmatian, the largest single entry of the utility group at this year's Crufts, of 215, making 237 for the Dallas.
One of the most instantly recognisable breeds, Dalmatian. This is Mr. Darcy. Very strange. Well, I'm not sure whether it's a dog or a bitch. It is a dog. Crossed out the word bitch on the on here. 2 years old, and the owner is Jelly Alexander from Cambridgeshire, offered Cluny there. Jenny's actually handling and doing 24 cc's for this dog, and I've got to say those markings are about as nice as I've seen here for some years.
It is the most distinctive in appearance. Black or liver spotted, of course, this one a black. Bred originally as a Regency carriage dog, this dog has fantastic stamina and grace on the move, which we can really see. A long, elastic stride, lovely head carriage on that long arched neck, deep-chested, level back line,
Number 8, 3, 4, 5.
and a good old shake to boot.
And now on the table we see the French Bulldog. Today they were judged by Miss Mary Dietz. She had 193 dogs, and her choice for best of breed.
And the French Bulldog here is called Chief. It's a dog, 13 months old,
The French Bulldog was a compact
owned by Mr. Gordon Drummond and Mr. Brian Drummond from Castle Donington, Derby, and the handler in the ring is Mr. Gordon Drummond. So there we are.
fact, the English
And this gorgeous
essays
brindle
for
chap was
infants
imported as a pup,
took small bulldogs with them.
and I watched him just a few weeks ago win reserve in the Pup of the Year competition. A lovely example of a breed originally miniaturised from the bulldog. Those ears so characteristic in their carriage and set. Origins indicated in that face. This is nonetheless an athletic and powerful dog. Square, large, even though he's a small dog. He has large stature and fantastic character.
Now we come to the first of our German Spitz varieties, the German Spitz Klein, or small as the word.
And this is the German Spitz Klein. That's the smaller of the Spitz, German Spitz. This is Willie. Willie is 15 months old, and he's owned by Gary Pearce and Mr. Dale Francis. Come from Middlesbrough up in Cleveland in the northeast, of course, and handled in the ring by Gary Pearce. They was bred by the owners.
And that profuse double coat, soft and woolly under, long and harsh on top, comes in all colours and is a real characteristic of these Spitz breeds. Frank looking at the construction of the dog on the table, and now we're going to see it move. Compact and short, almost square in outline. These are really intelligent, active little dogs. This one using those little triangle Spitz ears, not missing a thing as it takes its tour around the ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it one more
Nice, happy outlook on life.
Spitz Klein, number 8794.
Now on the tables, we have the larger version of the Klein that we've just seen, the German Spitz Mittel. These were judged today by Mr. Ralph Enns. He had 82
This is the larger version, the German Spitz Mittel. This is Izzy, who's a 7-year-old bitch, owned by Janet and Eddie Chambers from Fareham in Hampshire. Janet Chambers handling in the ring. And the breeder was Louisa Rogerson and the late Mr. Robert Dorr. 33 Cs. This is a breed record holder, by the way.
And you can see the quality in the dog.
Originally used as guarding or hunting dogs, they're intelligent, alert, and very active. And often
Effortless,
very
brisk action as this little Spitz sets off round the ring. That foxy face, triangle ears pricked, and the profuse coat in absolutely perfect show condition.
Got a thick undercoat in there as well, isn't it? Double coats.
Now we see the Japanese Akita Inu. Roberta Wright, who also judged the Akita that we saw at the beginning of the group.
First of our Japanese breeds here, the Japanese Akita Inu. This is Maru, a 2-year-old dog, owned by Tina and Louisa Thomas from Sedgley in the West Midlands. Tina Thomas actually handling in the ring. No CCs, no groups, and well, hoping to do really well today.
Separated from the Akita back in 2006, so quite recently, and it's probably closer to the original type. You can see on the move this dog is lighter in frame than the Akita, more oriental expression as it comes towards us, and is more restricted in the colours that are allowed. No black mask or white markings in the Akita Inu. This one a glorious rich red.
The Japanese Akita Inu.
Now on the table, we have a distant cousin, the Japanese Shiba Inu. Today, the breed was judged by Mr. Derek Smith.
And this Japanese Shiba Inu from a very famous kennel. This is Norma, it's a bitch, 3 years old, owned by Michaela Dunhill Hall. They come from Babworth near Retford. Handling in the ring there, Michaela, who's just aged 13. The breeder, of course, was her mother, Liz Dunhill.
Well, she may only be 13, but she's almost a veteran in handling terms. I remember seeing Michaela at her mother's place when she was about 6 or 7 years old, making a fantastic job of showing a soft-coated Wheaton.
She's grown up with all sorts of breeds, hasn't she?
Very well with mountainous bushy terrain. The Shiba Inu was originally used for hunting small game, such as birds and rabbits.
Shiba Inu actually means small dog, but you can see the relationship to the Akitas nonetheless, and they were originally hunting dogs of a very nicely balanced Spitz type. That blunt triangle of a head, small triangle ears, carried pricked and alert. Shown beautifully in the ring here tonight.
So we're midway through the group tonight with the Japanese Spitz, another member of the Spitz family. Michael Quinney judged the 84 Japanese Spitz here today.
Well, we're just about halfway through the group now as we look at the Japanese Spitz. This is Smarty. It's a 5-year-old dog owned by Richard Aston, and he comes from Telford in Shropshire, handled by Richard Aston. The breeders, Mr. and Mrs. Gittins.
I love that little tail wagging constantly whilst this dog's being gone over.
Descended from the Nordic long-haired dogs. It was taken to Japan early in the 20th century, and after its arrival there, was bred to reduce its size.
Keen to get on the floor and start moving.
Exported to Sweden in the 1950s, where it's readily accepted. And in 1970,
Crystal Charmer's a very appropriate name with that crystal white coat and the black pigment that is so characteristic of this little Spitz breed. Light, nimble, active and energetic on the move. A little smiling face all the way round. Profuse, gleaming white coat.
9027, the best of breed winning Japanese Spitz. Moving on to another Spitz type breed, the Kazan. Judged today by Zeke Andrews, there was an entry of 86. It was the bitch.
This is a dog from Malta, actually. This is the Kazan. Actually, the breed isn't. The breed is Dutch, but this is Shiva, who is a bitch, 1 year, 5 months old, owned by Victor Gatt, who comes from Malta, and handled by Victor in the ring. Jean Sharp Bale was the breeder.
His nickname was Chaos.
And of course Jean, famous for her long-standing lines of these lovely Dutch barge dogs, the Kazan.
We arrived at the Kazan.
Fox-like wedge of a head there, prick ears, dark muzzle, very characteristic. The ears are described as the shape of an ivy leaf, sat in that lovely profuse fur on the head.
Lovely description, that.
quite capable of letting visitors know that their arrival has been detected. He is then only too ready to greet them.
This breed is short, compact, square in outline, those cat-like feet coming towards us. The coat is harsh to the touch, off-standing and should be straight, with very specific markings over the shoulders in these lovely shades of black and grey. Clean, brisk, straight and true on the move.
3-4, the best of breed winning Kazan.
The next dog on the table for Frank to go over is the Lhasa Apso. There were 123 dogs today.
Last year, Frank selected the Lhasa Apso as best in show here at Crufts, and this dog, appropriately enough, is called Hope. Would you believe it? It's a bitch, 4 years old, owned by Joan Scarl and Susan Sykes from Doncaster in South Yorkshire. Susan Sykes handling in the ring, and Mrs. Joan Scarl actually bred this lovely girl, 4 years old.
Frank feeling for the substance and condition of the dog under that profuse long top coat. The coat should be heavy and straight. There's an undercoat underneath there to keep the dog warm.
Introduced into the UK in the early 1920s, the breed has become a
Originally from Tibet, these dogs needed to be really hardy to survive the harsh climate, hence the coat. But the fall of hair over the eyes shouldn't obstruct their vision. Indeed, you can see a one-eyed pirate coming towards you there. Body's longer than tall, but the ribs extend well back. Nice level top line there should be on the move.
Doug Wilkins was our ring judge today, and there were 128. It was number 9396.
So on the table there, the miniature Schnauzer. This is Eric. He's a 2-year-old dog owned by Jackie Hood from Pontefract in West Yorkshire. The breeder was Robert Brown and Roger Duckett.
And what a smart little dog this is. I've got 3 of them at home. I will say none of them look anywhere near as beautifully presented as this.
You're too modest.
That coat hand stripped, clipped across the neck, but hand stripped over the body with longer fur on the legs and the face. German in origin, this is a smart, compact little dog derived from larger cousins. They should be strong. The head's of good length, narrowing from those ears forwards to the muzzle. Broad and deep-chested in the body. Free and balanced on the move. They're vigorous little dogs. Top line should be held nicely. Straight and falling slightly from the withers to the tail.
A really robust looking dog, isn't it? Hardy.
And now on the table we have the first of the poodles, the miniature poodle. The judge today was Mrs. Andre O'Dell. She had 85 exhibits.
This, of course, is the miniature poodle, not the smallest one, it's always smaller than that. But this is George, who's a 3-year-old dog. Miss Melanie Harwood there handling. She's been in this ring before. She can really handle these dogs. She knows her miniature poodles. She comes from Blackburn in Lancashire. Melanie is actually handling in the ring, as you'd expect, and she's the breeder.
And Melanie's produced a long line together with her family of top quality poodles. This one, 16 challenge certificates so far, overall Poodle of the Year for 2012. The miniature, the middle of the 3 sizes, that lovely fine chiseled face. And do not mistake this dog for anything other than a tough little cookie. They are fantastic characters. A dog and a half underneath that coat. The poodle's, of course, characterised by this fantastic coat that is non-shedding and continues to grow, so it has to be constantly cared for and kept trimmed. In show trim, of course, very long and lustrous. Wonderful poodly action there. Tail wagging all the way round, beautifully presented.
Overall Poodle of the Year in 2012, that one.
The next dog from round C is a standard poodle, judged today by my colleague commentator tonight, Kim Sivito-Bill. Kim had 130.
You can't mistake this one, can you? The standard poodle. This dog is called Miles. He's 3.5. A lot of owners, Michael Nielsen, Kirsty Nielsen and Kathy Arnold from Sweden, Denmark and the USA respectively. So there's quite a continental and foreign long distance connections with this dog. Mildred Nielsen, Michael Nielsen, I beg your pardon, is the handler in the ring. Marianne Nielsen from Denmark was the breeder. First CC in the UK today.
Intelligence and quickness to learn the traits of
Shot of a wonderful, graceful head there. Those long ear leathers covered in beautiful soft fur.
It's easy to see the substance of this breed, one that enjoys nothing more than good exercise, and if there's water about, even a quick swim too.
A poodle's great sense of humour is never far from the surface. And it's this that stands
Powerful, muscular dog. Originally those pom-poms designed to keep the dog warm over the joints. Under the coat, this is a deep-chested, powerful animal, ribs well sprung, short-backed, strong, and so balanced on the move, driving from behind with those powerful legs.
The wonderful thing about the poodles, they're so long-lived, which is excellent.
The smallest of the poodle varieties on the table now for Judge Frank Kane. These were judged today by Mrs. Leslie Ann Howard. She had 79 dogs.
So we've gone from the standard down to the tiniest of the poodles. This is the toy. It's called Meryl. Meryl is a 16-month-old bitch owned by Akiko Owada from Japan, handled in the ring by Toshi Omura, and the breeder was Yukiko Amura. So long journey for them, and here they are, international champion.
The toy poodle has a heart of a lion.
The smallest of the three sizes, but by no means the smallest character. My daughter has one of these at home, and she's top of the pack, despite most of the dogs living in the house being 4 or 5 times her size.
Toy poodles are becoming
Frank looking for construction, feeling the substance and bone under the fur. And now we see the little toy poodle on the move. Driving around the ring on strong little legs, this one showing itself to perfection.
Isn't it though? Much locomotion with those back and those rear legs. Funnily enough, they used to be shown with a braided coat, didn't they?
Next on the table we see the skipper key. Judged today by Michael Gilchrist from an entry of 60, Michael selected
One of the smaller of the Spitz breeds. This is the skipper key. This is Eve. This bitch is 7 years old. Paul Jean and Kelly Lawless own this. From Kildare in Ireland. It's a champion and GB champion. That's in Great Britain, is it? Great Britain champion. I don't know how that means, isn't it? Anyway, Kelly Lawless is the handler in the ring. Graham Cruz is the breeder.
Hailing from the Netherlands,
and nipping the heels of the horses pulling the barges to keep them moving.
this abundant, dense and harsh coat in a beautiful crisp black for this one. Typical Spitz head and skull. Not rounded, broad and flat, very little stop, long muzzle there. Frank watching the movement, which should be short and brisk, a good stride, moving true fore and aft.
And now we have the Schnauzer. Today there were 60 dogs. The judge, Mr. Albert White, and his choice for best of breed was this dog, number 9825.
We've seen the miniature already, but this is the medium size, the middle one. This is the Schnauzer. This is Sonny. I don't know his age. It's a dog, and he's owned by Andrea and Lucy Dixon. Lucy Dixon handling in the ring, and they, Andrea and Lucy both bred this dog. 13 cc's, 3 groups. Successful dog.
And a powerful looking dog. Robust is the right word for this. Lovely graceful neck there, giving proud head carriage, strong bone in the legs, deep chested through the body, and powerful quarters. Of course, these dogs used to be customarily docked. They're not docked anymore, and this one has a lovely tail carriage. Holding his top line nicely on the move and extending well with those front legs.
Now we come to the Zarpe. Judged today by Wendy Coates. The Zarpe entry was 62.
This is the Sarpe, Tianshan Shine Rocco's baby. I don't have a pet name for this 2.5-year-old dog. Well, let's say it's probably Shine. Anyway, Joy Bayliss is handling in the ring. She also bred the dog and owns it as well. They come from Louth in Lincolnshire, 4 cc's to their name so far.
And this dog should appear to be fairly what's called short coupled, not too long in the back, squarely built. And it's one of the breeds where you need a distinct size difference between the larger males and the smaller females. The head of the Sarpe is relatively large in comparison to the body, and of course the wrinkle terribly important. Breeders have done a great deal to make sure that whilst that wrinkle is defined and definite, it isn't too exaggerated and it doesn't cause the dog any health problems.
The best of breed winners
A
are
massive
male,
change over the past few
number
years now, which is wonderful to see, I
870.
think.
And now on the table we have the Shih Tzu. There were 168 dogs today. The judge, Mr. Michael Harper, and his choice for best of breed was this dog, number 9957.
Hello, Finley, that's his name.
The roots of
He's a
this breed
3-year-old
are in
dog.
Tibet.
Fleur and
It is
Hugh
the
Clifford
Belgian
own this
Lion,
dog in
and last
Northampton.
night
Jenny
was the
Clifford is
breed
actually
of
handling in the ring.
horses.
Fleur and Hugh actually bred
After China
the
became
dog.
a
2
republic in
cc's, 6 reserve
1912,
cc's
examples of the
for
breed
this
found their way to the West.
Shih Tzu.
Though the first recorded importation
And another one
to
hailing
Hong
from the
Kong
frozen
was in
mountains of Tibet.
1931.
Might look like a glamorous dog, but make no mistake, underneath that coat there's a sturdy little character capable of surviving great hardship.
With challenge certificates on offer from 1949.
This is another.
The face described as chrysanthemum-like, framed in that beautiful coat.
Breeds in the Kennel Club Puppy registrations for 2012, coming in at number 14.
And the coat of the Shih Tzu wants to be abundant but not too excessive, and definitely not interfering or impeding with the dog's movement. Nice level top line on the move, coming parallel towards us and from behind as well. Tail, of course, carried over the back with a beautiful plume.
Shih Tzu, number 9957.
Bob Gregory judged the 161 Tibetan Spaniels here at Crufts today. And it was the bitch.
This, of course, the Tibetan Spaniel. This bitch is called Ellie. She's 2 years old and comes from Stafford in Staffordshire with owners are Ian Blackshaw and Daniel Roberts, and Ian Blackshaw is showing in the ring, and they, of course, are the breeders as well.
Great watchdogs.
It's first CC and best of breed today, so proud moment.
Keen eyes and ability to see great distances.
And this breed's described as an assertive little breed, highly intelligent, can be aloof with strangers, and giving Frank a little bit of a sideways look there.
Likes to stress his superiority of breeding by his somewhat haughty expression. He's only
The
2
Tibetan
weeks
Spaniel is a small dog, but active, alert, well balanced in general outline.
He was one of the first of the Tibetan breeds to arrive in the UK in the early
Well boned and coming towards us there. From profile you want a dog that's slightly longer than it is tall, again with the tail carried plume-like over the back.
108. And making a full complement, the 24th breed in the utility group of Crufts 2013 is the Tibetan Terrier, judged today by Mark James.
The last of the 24 dogs in the utility group. This is Gabby, an 18-month-old bitch owned by David Roberts, Judy Price and Fiona Whitehead. They come from Mould in Flintshire. David Roberts is handling. David and Judy were the breeders.
doubling as a guard for traders as they journeyed to
And this gorgeous animal wearing a delightful penguin suit,
not so much by size,
striking
but
black
even
and white
more
markings.
held. This is believed to be the original holy dog of
Party
Tibet.
colours, of course, very popular in Tibetan Terriers.
The tallest of the Tibetan breeds, despite his terrier name, he was in fact a herding. Their short-footedness allowed
Essentially what we're looking for here is a sturdy, square, medium-sized dog with a lovely long coat. They're very balanced and shouldn't be exaggerated in any way. Smooth and effortless stride in profile there.
lucky in life.
The best of breed for the Tibetan Terrier, number 103995.
And so, all that Frank Kane now has to do is to pick his shortlist. I don't envy him. My word, there are some lovely dogs there. That'll be next.
Winners from the utility group at this year's Crufts 2013. Our judge, Frank Kane, will now take another last look at all of the best of breed winners in their entirety before he makes the shortlist finalists. There's a total.
So Frank taking a good look now at this lineup. All of the 24 utility breeds which he has to decide which is going to be his best in group. I don't envy him, Jess.
I think the utility group is always challenging because you have so many makes and shapes in there.
Make it to the Kennel Club Puppy registrations
but it's also a group that we're used to seeing some very high quality. Of course, our Best in Show winner being drawn from this group last year.
And Frank is a very meticulous judge. You'll have a pretty good idea where he's going with this now. He'll certainly have his shortlist pretty clear in his head, and he's just taking a second look along the line, and then he'll pick them out. He'll probably pick 8. I shouldn't think he'll pick more than that. He might. We might see 9. Just depends how he's viewed this lovely collection of dogs. 24 absolute beauties out there in the ring.
Let's give these 24 best of breed winners one big round of applause.
It's lovely to see Frank down there. I do miss him up here in the commentary box when he's taking it on himself to judge. He was Best in Show judge here at Crufts last year, but now has the honour of judging the utility group. And he's picking out, first of all, he's picking the Akita. And he's bringing out the Chow Chow and the Dalmatian.
The French Bulldog I'm delighted to see in there. And the little Spitz Klein, the Shiba Inu. That delightful Case Hunt. The white standard poodle.
Standard poodle, yes.
Let's say thank you to those dogs watching this evening in the ring. Congratulations on winning through to the group. Don't forget, there's coverage of all the action of this year's Crufts at youtube.com/Crufts.
So we have our first cut, and Frank will most probably move these dogs again before selecting the next of our group winners.
And he did pick 9, as we've seen there. So starting, he'll get them to move again. He's going over first now to look at the Akita. Well, he may walk down the line and then get them to move, but we'll just check. He's got the Akita, he's got the Chow Chow, he's got the French Bulldog.
Now, first to move again is going to be the Akita, champion Dyke Bar Revenge is Sweet at Steekhall, Maddie. And as she goes up and down, Frank's watching her movement going away and coming towards to make sure there's no towing in, it's nice and parallel. And then a lovely profile as the dog sweeps around the ring, the handler being given a chance to show the dog absolutely at the tip-top of its condition.
They are magnificent dogs, aren't they, Akitas?
So the second shortlisted dog is the Chow Chow.
So there's the Chow Chow.
299. The selection from Pam Godber. Round you go, the Chow Chow.
Characteristic rolling gait as the Chow sets off around the ring. This one very unexaggerated, gorgeous cream colour.
And the next dog to be moved again is the French Bulldog.
And here goes this lovely little French. He's still a youngster. As I said, reserve pup of the year in the Dog World Pro Plan Purina competition. Renoir War Bonnet Glen Lee, Chief. Just 13 months old.
That's right. You and Frank were there commentating at that. You weren't judging it.
No, just commentating.
Just commentating.
Stuart Mallard did the honours.
Yep.
That characteristic face with those wonderful ears being used on the move. A powerful little dog. And this one a lovely brindle.
Move again is the Dalmatian. This is number 8345.
So Mr. Darcy here, this 2-year-old dog, champion Offerdale Chevalier, junior warrant. These dogs, as Jess said earlier, these were carriage dogs originally. They're still shown in the USA and have competitions where they have to move over a long distance, sometimes as much as 10 miles or so, in conjunction with a horse and carriage. And their gait is very important.
As is that fantastic lashing tail, always such a clear sign of a happy, healthy dog. The little German Spitz Klein, champion Longsdale's Willie Wynn.
Good old Willie, 15 months old.
So not so old, Willie.
Number 8794.
Up and back first of all. Frank talking the dog to see that lovely spitsy expression with the foxy face and the pricked ears. In glorious coat, this one sets off to show its movement once again.
Now we're going to see for one more time the Japanese Shiba Inu.
Well, the Japanese Shiba Inu, who we've already said that Michaela, 13-year-old, showing there. She's the daughter of Liz Dunhill, who's had a fantastic record here at Crufts, both as a handler and as a breeder. And this Japanese Shiba Inu, they've been specialists in these, had some of the first, I think, to come to this country.
Actually, I think this one's putting in a cracking performance
Isn't it,
tonight.
though?
Champion Vorman, Norma Jean could
Jean.
be a contender.
Could indeed. So we go over now to take another look at the Case Hond. Our colleague, the late Mike Stockman, who used to commentate here at the show, he used to keep these. He's very fond of them indeed. The Dutch Barge dog. This was judged today by Mrs. Zena Thorne Andrews, who is an amazing judge. This dog comes from Malta, Victor Gatt. Proud moment for him here, bringing the dog over. This is how the reserve best in show when just 15 months old, and it's only 17 months old now, so it's really coming into its prime. I thought Frank might like that. And now the standard poodle, champion Abikas miles ahead. This is the multinationality owned Sweden, Denmark and USA standard poodle. Miles is the dog's pet name, 3.5 years old. Very outgoing, friendly, happy and playful dog. A real poodle. And there is such a real dog under all that very fancy dressing, which is quite magnificent. I mean, the coat looks stunning.
And Michael, of course, a consummate handler. I think he handled champion Top Score Contradiction, who, of course, is one of the biggest winning white standard poodles probably of all time. Lovely poodly action on the move. Big, powerful dog under that clip. And last to go, the black and white coat of the Tibetan. Lovely, balanced, solid, square little dog. Claire will be hopping up and down in delight.
She will indeed.
Kaibo Pandorama. What an appropriate title for a dog in those colours. Gabby taking the last turn around the ring before Frank is going to decide who's going to take our utility group.
So, having seen the dogs move one more time.
So Frank taking one more look down his lineup.
Very soon we'll see which dog emerges triumphant to top.
He's a very business-like judge, Frank. Very clear idea.
Enormously
of what he
experienced. This group could not be in better hands.
wants. Absolutely not.
The boards are out. We await the decision.
And he's going over, moving. Is he moving near? No, he's not. He's just going across to just take a final look. Where's he going? I think he fancies that case on, you know. I'm not sure. Just see where he goes with this. Nope, moving away from it.
Balls are in place. He's made his decision. And the winner of the utility group, Crufts 2013, is...
It's the Tibetan Terrier. Kaibo Pandorama, the Tibetan Terrier, takes the utility group for 2013.
Fantastic. And it's a Japanese Shiba Inu who gets Group 2. Vormund, Norma Jean, champion Vormund, Norma Jean. Standard poodle for our international owners in 3rd place there.
And Group 4,
And the Dalmatian gets Group 4. Great selection. A lovely group. Most enjoyable group to see.
So here's the winner of our utility group for 2013, the Tibetan Terrier Kaibo Pandorama. Gabby, just 18 months old and taking the group.
Chairman of the Crufts Committee, to present the Send Trophy to the winner of the utility group 2013.
Presentation now being made, and the presenters, Mr. John Sperling, Knight Commander of the Victorian Order, OBE, is escorted out there by Gerald King, the chairman of Crufts. And watching very happily Frank Kane there as the judge.
If you are leaving and not staying for the toy group, please do stop off.
And I should imagine in the studio, Claire will be beaming so widely.
Well, she can't fail to be mentioned. I remember how I felt when the Pekingese won Best in Show here.
A lovely win there for Michaela, just 13
So
years old and handling Group 2 with the Shiba Inu. Standard Poodle taking the rosette for number 3. And that lashing tail still going for the Dalmatian, Group 4.
So we now have 3 dogs through to Sunday's Best in Show competition. We'll have a 4th shortly, because coming up afterwards will be the toy group. But here, the lap of honour for the winner, the Tibetan Terrier Kaibo Pandorama. Gabby, 18 months old.